Welcome to the Positivity Show. I'm Tanya Lacey. Thank you for watching. I am so excited to be presenting to you the one and only Auguste Crenshaw. This woman has got more energy than you can poke a stick at. I met her in the USA when we were both learning and doing our thing, and we've stayed in contact ever since. She's doing some amazing, mind-blowing things that are transforming women and transforming the way they do business. I'd like to introduce you now. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me, Auguste Crenshaw.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. I'm excited, and it has been a pleasure to know you for the entire time that we've known each other, and I'm so happy that we met each other in California.
We did. We're connected, and I've been watching you, and I was so keen to get you on the program because I'm going to be straight up. You've got an awesome program that I want people to know about. It's called, please correct me if I get this wrong, Package, Price and Profit.
That's it.
And I think women in business in particular have difficulty promoting themselves, and I'm imagining, and I'd like to hear about it, that, this is about how to get those elements right. I'd like to jump right in there, and then we can, go back to the backstory and so on, but jump right in if that's okay. Tell me a little bit about that program.
To just cut to the chase, everything that you said is 100% on point.
Okay.
We as women get out here, we become entrepreneurs because we know we're meant to do something, and we want more control. We want to be connected to our kids. We want to be more available to do what we want to do. But we almost always start off with the bad end of the stick because we really don't know what to do. I know I did it. Our packaging is off. We overgive. We undercharge. We don't know how to price it. And then we don't know how to sell. And we have visibility issues. We have pains that we have to get through. And so there's this whole combination of spiritual crap we got to get through. The actual practical technique of knowing how to sell, how to promote, the psychology behind posting, and being comfortable in your own skin to be able to be visible. And if you can have somebody that will give you a combination of all of those things without having to go here, and here to shop and get it, then why not? So it's a one-stop shop to deal with all of those things to set a woman up for success so that you can start being purposeful and profitable in your business without being drained.
Yeah, this is amazing. And look, I've got a sales background, and I know that, you're sought out as this, salesperson and sales specialist and mindset, that positive mindset or that, that resilient stuff. For myself, having had a sales background, you do go through the school of hard knocks, you do figure it out, you find your own rhythm. But there are a lot of people jumping into entrepreneurship. They're buying this dream that they can, all of a sudden just go online or do, buy some package, and then all of a sudden they're in business. But what they're not prepared for is all the stuff that comes up. So, for instance, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, the worrying about what other people think, and then, of course, a lot of old wounds. And this is the piece that I want to jump into, because in my world, I know that, we're often dealing with wounds, and wounds can really own you, whether you're an executive, an entrepreneur, an individual. And I loved, as we were talking earlier, that this has been a huge piece, particularly with, the journey to this product. So I'd love to talk about that, and how last time we spoke, you had invited me onto a summit, which was just so fantastic. The concept was wonderful. I felt that it was very creative and very, very modern, very now, probably even a bit ahead of the curve. And then from there, I can see there was a few things that evolved where you saw, some stuff missing in the market, some gaps. So maybe take us on the journey from there. Say, you're doing this promoting other people and sharing information. And then what happened from there after the last time we caught up?
No, absolutely. So when I did my first summit, I saw the gaps, the same thing that you're talking about. I want to get these 6 steps to 6 figures in 6 days. And it's like, no, that's not what it takes to build a business. So that first summit was like, give the people the fundamentals from A to Z, from the mind to the actual practical concepts to build a business. And these women were floored, right? They were like, yes, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. But when it came time to take that plunge, it was like, yeah, but, and these buts were all rooted in pain.
Okay, got it.
Well, I would be visible, but I don't want my sister to see my videos. I don't want my family to know what I'm doing. I have these issues and these roadblocks and that fear and that uncertainty from past experiences that we want to compartmentalize. But who we are as beings is who we are going to be in business, because we are the face of our company. Yeah. I'm like, this has to be addressed. And so I did a very polarizing thing and did another summit within 60 days called Real Women Don't Bitch.
Okay.
And that summit was about taking off the cover, the silence off of struggles. And I literally got a total of 11 women, including myself, to go ahead and get down and dirty. And we talked about everything from rape, molestation, insecurity, welfare, bankruptcy, you name it, spiritual guilt. We touched it all. And these were women, though, that were still beasting their business. So it wasn't about no bitching, no whining, complaining to say don't deal with your circumstance. It was like, let's face it. Let's face it and let's look at it for what it's worth. And like you say, let's turn that pain into purpose and evolve it into power. Mm-hmm. And it just kept on evolving into something more. But I realized even the more how women don't just need a coach. They need someone with the capacity to be able to love them, to have compassion, to work with them through those things. And that is why I made the transition the way that I did.
Wow, that's fantastic. So in a way, you are providing this massive capacity, which is really what I experience with you. I think that's where we align. You've got huge capacity. You've got huge spirituality, at the same time, huge business savvy. And so that combination really is amazing. I'd love to talk to you about the polarizing piece, because this is where you can, if you are obscure and you are not visible, you cannot be seen and you cannot promote. So getting through whatever is stopping you from saying, you know what, this is actually who I am, this is what I'm about, and I'm going to put a stake in the ground, and the world's going to have to adjust.
Yes.
I've been through that myself, different iterations and transitions. It's like, okay, well, I've got, my family, I've got my business, I've got my friends, I've got my friends in business, I've got my American friends, I've got my European, and the different ways that people do things. And there comes a point, to your point, that you are one being. And I love what you said before, because that's actually owning that. That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
Yes.
I'm you talked about the pain before. The word shame comes up, and I know that there can be intergenerational shame as well. And did you feel that when people were coming and talking about their stuff, there were patterns and historic patterns, and pain had been in the family? And I'd love to talk about this and jump in on this one, because this is massive to holdbacks. You happy to
No, it absolutely is. And I want to just put one solid point out there. It was very powerful to do this, and it's powerful for us as women to continue to do this, because we give enormous power to our circumstances when we put ourselves in a place of isolation. If it's just Auguste that got hurt, then it's like, whoa, that happened to you. But if I say, oh my God, I was just so embarrassed, my cousin did this to me, you're like, oh, really? Well, it wasn't my cousin, but my sister did the exact same thing like 5 years ago. All of a sudden, it is no longer just about me, and we begin a dialogue, and that begins to diffuse the power of the circumstance. And I really, really want to push that out. And so as we become more of a collective saying, me too, me too, me too, that's what diffuses the power of the pain and the shame. But I would bring up one client very quickly. I had a client, and it was like she had this phenomenal business idea. She came to me spanking brand new. And when it was time for her to get out there and be the face of her business, because it's controversial, she would say that she was the power behind what she was doing, but she was still coming up and showing up as this timid person, kind of just going live, kind of posting, because that's what her coach told her she was supposed to do. And I'm like, sweetie, you're not showing us who you are. And you would be amazed to find out that a deceased relative who had put her down for many, many years was still echoing in her mind of who she couldn't be, what she couldn't do, what she couldn't accomplish. And by busting through that, all of a sudden she came alive. And I promise you, she'll give her own testimony that 24 hours afterwards, that's when she got her first client. It was in less than a quarter. So from a concept to execution and client within less than a quarter of working with me. But part of that gap and her being able to show up and have that conversion in that sales call was whether or not she was able to show up as who she was and to make that connection. And then it's been full speed ahead since then. But that person had their pain and their shame, and they passed that on to her. And she began to see, like, wait a minute, what am I teaching my daughter? What am I teaching other women around me? What am I teaching the other other young people, because young people are attracted to her. What am I teaching them? And so that's a really good question that you brought up, that this shame that we're experiencing, that it didn't start with us. And unfortunately, there usually is a pattern in the generations, but we've got to decide that we're going to break that curse, that we're not going to allow it to thrive.
I just got goosebumps on that. And you're moved. That's what this is. It's like, no, it stops with me. It stops here. I am going to come out. I am going to be who I am. It doesn't matter that, other stuff has happened and so on, and making that claim. Couple of quick points. Amazing testimonial, amazing story, amazing conversion, right? Taking the intangibles and then converting. I have a saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
So what happens is someone who is hurt, they lash out, they transfer it to us. If it happens to us when we're young, it can get repeated. And this is kind of the stuff that goes on. And there comes a moment where you want to say, you know what, no more. That's it. And this is what I see you facilitating, which is so powerful. The other thing that's interesting in what you said was the language. So you talked about this client who had this incredible thing, and then she kind of was posting, and she kind of was doing Facebook, and she was kind of doing her marketing. And the kinda is where there is the hiding.
Yes.
And you were able to spot that. Hang on a second, this is incongruent. And then from there, jump in and help her resolve it and then turn her around.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I have yet to have a client that doesn't have some kind of version of that. Yeah. And they don't even realize it. They're like, wait a minute, I do have this block, and that is that thing I'm hearing. And it did come from this place, this experience, this person. But you can't kind of do business. It's like you can't kind of live. You're just, you're just existing, but you can't kind of do business, because being an entrepreneur for me is a spiritual journey, and it's about walking in your purpose. Yes. It's about the power to be a creative. I don't give anybody any labels. God, universe, do as you please. But, I've called him the creator. And so if you are not walking in your creativity, then you're not walking in your divine God-given purpose.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And when you've got that clarity for that exchange, your ability to show up and serve in your gift, yes, that right there is when people will naturally want to exchange with you, and the consequence of that is money. However, they can't exchange with you if they're unclear about what you do, if you're unclear about what you do. Even if they're unclear about what you do, if you're clear about what you do, by the time they're finished with you, they know. Yeah. And it's interesting, there's a real power in your resonance. So when you're communicating, you have such certainty and you have such conviction, and it's actually that people are drawn to. People are drawn to other people who have that sense of certainty in who they are for that guidance. And that's actually what you're then restoring in them, putting them back together and saying, hey, you have this too.
Absolutely. And I agree. And I believe personally that part of that comes from societal conditioning, and it's different in different parts of the globe, but at the end of the day, we women have a tendency to operate in that uncertainty. We're conditioned to show that we're graceful and that we're modest and that we're humble. And it's the exact opposite of what you have to be in business. In business, I have to see myself as a dominating force. I have to know that I'm called to do what I'm doing. But when you think about it, and everybody's different, but I know in my culture personally, if my daughter were to walk in a room and put on a dress and say, look at me, I'm beautiful. Sweetie, no, you wait for someone else to give you a compliment. And something as simple as that is where we are. And so when we're in business, we may put up a post, we may put up a picture, and we don't want to put it up unless it looks perfect. And then we're waiting for someone to come to us. We're waiting for someone to say that we're good and that we're okay. But in business, you have to be a force to be reckoned with. You have to let it be known that you are here. But we're not naturally, if it's the opposite for you, then great. But for most women, we're not wired to be that. And in entrepreneurship, you absolutely have to be. You are the one who promotes you.
Yeah, you're the one that promotes you. It's true. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. And and so from my side in this, and we spoke offline beforehand, for me it is about promotion. And you will polarize people. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to be drawn to you. And that's the other thing I would like to bring into this is this concept of conditioning and scarcity mentality that, I can't bring Auguste on this show because Auguste is working with entrepreneurs, helping them package price their programs for profit, right? I have a program called Unlock Your Business Genius, which does a very similar thing. Now, many people would say, well, hang on, isn't she a competition? No, because not everyone's going to do. Some people will be polarized by me. Some people will be polarized by you. Some people will be magnetized to you. Some people will be magnetized to me. Some people will enjoy both of us and want to do both. And some people will be turned off both of us. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
When we have that claiming who we are and we know what we're about and you put it out there, it's like a gift that you offer the world. You're going to offer it your way. Mm-hmm. And once people get a sense about your gift and your offering, then they will actually resonate with that and they'll show up. And if you think about the numbers of people on the planet and the size of the market, the size of how the people are in pain, I mean, it is exponential and infinite. It's the scarcity stuff that actually creates this concept of competition. This is what I'd love to smash, particularly with women.
Absolutely.
With yeah.
I work with women and I promote them all the time.
Yeah.
And anybody that follows me, you will see at any given moment, this person who's a healer, this person who's a coach, because I don't have any fears. I'm not worried about it. And even in this space, like right now, when you came on the summit, I saw you for your greatness, not like, well, I don't know if I want Tanya on there because people may opt into her stuff, but they may not opt into mine. When we're showing what the limits are not. We are limitless when we promote other people. And you're right, it is a scarcity mentality. But you know what? When you don't know how to structure your business right, and when you're not walking in your own confidence, and you're not sure about your pricing and how you got your stuff together, when you're dealing with visibility issues, then that is the kind of stuff that you do. And you have to do something to eradicate all of the false narrative that's in your mind in order to be able to take that leap to go to the next level. And everybody knows the little proverb that says that if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go further, then you got to do it with the masses, do it with more people. But we say things like that, but they're like catchphrases.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily ingrained into your being.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I have gained just as many opportunities, honestly, from promoting other people. They're like, you must really be a coach who loves her clients or loves people because you do this. So actually, when it's all stuff in you, then that's when you miss out. That's when you lose people. There's nothing to lose. There's so much to gain, and this world is infinite. And getting outside of the box of your neighborhood, your city, or where you come from, or your little small nook of Facebook friends or IG friends or whatever platform you're on, when you look at the billions of people and you do the math on and people are continuously being born every day, like you said, the possibilities are absolutely infinite if we want to nerd out and like really start dissecting some numbers.
I just get so drawn into listening to you. I've always loved listening to you. I want to keep talking. However, before I continue, could you just tell everyone listening if they would like to find you? We just mentioned Facebook and you also mentioned opt-ins and things like that. You've got a really interesting process. You are also not just working with anybody. What you want to do is make sure that whoever you work with really is a fit for you and is aligned with your energy and you're aligned with theirs and you're on the same page. So how would be the process if people wanted to say, okay, I want to seek out Auguste, how do I access her? What would be the pathways for them to locate you, and particularly this program, Package Price and Profit?
I actually like for people to connect with me on Facebook.
Okay.
Go find me there because I am highly visible via video and via post.
Okay.
And there are offers all over the place to say that if this is a good fit for you, you can click the link, you can go to the application and fill it out because it is only by invitation. I'm only working with 12 women.
Okay, great.
And because I'm a very high touch coach.
Yes. Okay.
And I love to serve.
Yes.
I'm not, hey, let me just throw you somewhere and give you some recordings and throw you on a group call and I'll check in on your process. I'm very involved. And so I need to know that there's an intimate connection between you and I before you just make a decision out of desperation. Well, if I could just find a coach and pay for something, she felt good. I don't want that. I want the intimacy with the people that I work with.
And also the results by the sound as well. It's like, okay, you know, and pinpointing the, you know, the blockages that they've got to be ready. So fantastic. That's great. So Auguste Crenshaw on Facebook, which is great.
With an E.
With an E. So how do we spell it? How do we spell it? Spell it.
Yeah, August with an E, Auguste, and then Crenshaw, Crensaw.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this is a great opportunity to jump in on name. Okay. When you ask people, you know, what's your name? What's your experience with people claiming their name, Auguste, and actually saying who they are? What's your experience of that?
Oh, wow. That one is the funniest of all, because if we don't take ownership for our lives, then we definitely don't take ownership for who we are in business. And it often feels like a mechanical response. I find that women have a tendency to introduce who they are and what they do like they're at a networking event. Like I have to rehearse saying, I'm Auguste Crenshaw. I'm a mindset mentor and a sales coach. You know,
so funny.
And honestly, when I meet people, I don't do that. I don't say, hey, how you doing? I'm Auguste Crenshaw.
That's how we met, Auguste. That's how we met, because we met. We actually ended up dancing together at the function. That's how we.
Yes.
Right.
All night long.
Yeah, but that was actually, it was the energy and the connection. Oh, my word is connectology. The connectology was there. It's like this.
Yes.
Got the energy. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. I had an excited moment there. So yes, people hide. Right? They hide. They hide behind this mask of what the perfection of how I was taught to introduce myself and the sound bite.
And then there's the insecurity, right? Because if I come out there and I say that I do this, how many other people are going to say, well, I am a healer too. I'm a spiritual intuitive too. And so then you find these people that are like, well, if I'm going to say something, it has to be clear. So I can't say I'm a spiritual intuitive. I have to say that I am a seer into the future. Oh, no, that sounds corny. So how do I say, you know, and it's like, look, who are you? You don't know who I am? I'm Auguste Crenshaw, and I'm a woman that's fired up, and I'm passionate about making sure other women are fired up about life too. And then somebody's like, okay, well then what do you do? Yeah. And then I can start saying, but I don't have a mechanical response. I'm a lover of life. I'm a human being. I'm a mother. I'm all of these other things too. Be excited about who you are and just go with the flow, because people aren't attracted to your title. They're attracted to who you are. And yes, let's just look at this from a business perspective. They're excited about the potential of you being the piece that goes in between, the gap between where they are and where they want to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, you know, I want to share a quick story if I can. This happened.
Oh, Lord.
I was at a restaurant. I was at a restaurant. Okay. So I'll be brief. I've had a very full-on week. So I met with my husband and business partner. I had a meeting in the morning and we decided to catch up, and we were like, okay, well, let's have a bite to eat. So we're going to this restaurant. I don't know if this will happen in my hair's annoying me. If this will happen in, you'll relate to this. We get to the restaurant, we order. The girl who served us is new. We were there for 40 minutes, no food. We had a tight parking spot, timeline. So we politely got up. Ivan went over and asked her, you know, what's happening with the food? You know, he corrected her. He sits down. Next thing, we hear the owner absolutely abusing at the top of his voice from the kitchen, this server, at the top of his voice. My spirit leaped. I got up. I went over to the server and I went like this. I said, you knew? She said, yeah. I said, he has no right to be abusive at you like that right now. Yes, you might have made a mistake, but it's okay. Okay. He came out. He's still carrying on. We were going to get our food. And he kept yelling at her, broadcasting through the restaurant, sending out the most negative, intense vibes. So I believe, sidebar note, I believe at the moment, our ability to tune into our sensitivity to vibration at the moment and what people are transmitting is you know, at a new level from this year. I really feel that there's much more. That's why I call it the connectology. Anyway, he walks past. He's still yelling. I turned to him and I said, "Excuse me, can you please stop being so abusive?"
Ooh.
He stood up, he came right up to my face and he said, "I'm 65 years of age and I own this." And I said, "Well, I'm 48 and I'm the customer. And you being abusive is really very uncomfortable. There's no need to abuse her. Communicate." And I said, "Are you the owner?" He said, "Yeah, she started and she shouldn't have let you wait for an hour." I said, "It's your response. If you're not happy with her training, it's your responsibility to train her to your standard, not stand in the middle of the restaurant and abuse her." He said, "Sit down and eat your meal."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "I will sit down and enjoy my meal. Please stop being abusive." So I sat down, I looked at Ivan and I said, "If he continues to be abusive, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk out and I will not be paying." So it went on, he quietened down, he disappeared. We paid, we were leaving. As we were leaving, the girls in the corner stopped sobbing, but not cowered over sobbing, upright sobbing, in the corner, clearing her face. Before I left, I made sure I checked on her. Now, this girl would have been perhaps 16. That was the other thing I said to this guy. You know, it was an Asian environment, and this is just about life at any environment. But I just said to him, you know, we don't do that. You don't talk to people like that. You know, you communicate with the other human being. Now, he's a hurt person. Hurt people hurt people. He was about to create another hurt person, her.
Yes.
I was about to create hurt for himself, because if it continued, we would have not only walked out, we would have put a really bad review on his TripAdvisor. And Ivan's got a very big profile of all the places we go, and he's got a high profile for TripAdvising. So it was just the stupid knock on for being hurtful. So in that, it was this potential damaging moment for this girl. And these are the types of hurts and shame, like that could have completely destabilized her confidence. She could be, her self-talk from there would be, "Oh my gosh, who knows what it was." And this is the pattern that we can get ourselves into as human beings. She could get to 10 years' time, 20 years' time, not go into business for herself because she had this that's right. I said to him, "Don't humiliate her. You're humiliating her and you're humiliating yourself." Zero respect. Now, I don't make it my business, sticking my nose in other people's business, but he made it my business in that moment. And I feel he needed to be held a mirror up to. So a couple of things in that about impact of specific incidences that happen. If we allow them to own us, so from her perspective, if she could have allowed this to own her, what's the knock-on effect for her career and her self-esteem and her confidence and our economy? We're going to miss out on her business because some guy abused her and she didn't know how to have resilience and work through that and not make it about her.
But so, and can I interject?
Go there. I finished. I'm interviewing you, and I've just done a rant. Go.
No, because it's very important, and I appreciate the story, and it also just brings back to the need for the call to action to respond to things.
Yes.
Because so many of us, we just kind of look past, we look beyond, and we have to stop doing it. Like you said, it's one thing to insert yourself into someone else's issues, but there are things where it's out there in the open, and that vibration is coming into our life, in our situation, and we have to learn to speak up. And to be honest, not that it's about carrying everybody else's pain, and it's not about trying to be a savior, but personally as a coach, the women that I'm dealing with, they dealt with that level of humiliation. And that's saying what you did is you took it. It's like the movies Back to the Future. It's like you went and put a wrinkle in time on that, and you like, let's change that so that it doesn't have that kind of ending. And as a coach, that's part of my own personal oath to myself. And I said it before because I have found that so many women need to be loved on. I really honestly believe that does more for my clients than anything else. I had a client say to me, all throughout my life, people have put me down. They have always looked at me and say, "Oh, yes, so-and-so, you did good when you did that. But, you really could have done this." Oh, that was a nice idea, but you could have done that. And they were so used to being scrutinized. And it's not about not receiving constructive criticism, but they were never celebrated. But whenever I would talk to her, because I truly believe this, I would be like, you're a freaking genius. And I remember when she got off a sales call, she was like, August, I was on there and I was talking and the person said, you're a genius. And I was sitting thinking to myself, I am a genius. And you've been telling me I'm a genius for so long. But then she cried with me because she realized that for the first time in her life, she had been edified. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm just putting it out there, to my coaches that are listening. If you are hurt and you have not resolved those pains, you are potentially collateral damage for another woman, because yes, hurt people, and you have to resolve those issues. And so that's another component of that mindset work that's necessary. Because once you get through packaging and pricing it and you know how to sell it like crazy, what do you do when the people actually come and you have to serve them? Mm-hmm. You got to be able to love them at a capacity to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And so that's integrity. And that's something that we used to live with. But now everybody wants to be politically correct and mind their business and all of that stuff. Well, guess what? If you decided to be a coach, you decided to hold up a torch of light, and you shine light on dark areas in order for them to be exposed, in order for them to be dealt with so that people can heal. And that's what I was getting from your story. You decided to be a light in a very dark situation.
Yeah, it was.
That's part of who you're called to be. It's like a doctor. If a doctor sees someone riding a bike that gets hit by a car, is he going to look and say, oh, well, the ambulance will be here in a minute? Or is he going to run over there and say, hey, don't move him? He could be damaged to his spine. You could, no, put a splint here, do this, don't move his head. There's going to be a natural call to action, because being a doctor is who that individual is.
Absolutely.
So my question is, are you who you really say you are? When we get past the awkwardness of introducing yourself and saying who you are in business and in life, do you embody it?
Auguste, you just helped me see that I'm a spiritual paramedic. But you did. It was like that was what happened. It jumped. So thank you so much. See, this is what happens when you're being authentic. I actually call it the third mind. When you are together with someone and you're in this authentic connectology, the third mind shows up, and it's an exchange of insight showing one that you have to be open for that. And that's where the miracles occur. It's like I have new perspectives and so on. So I really appreciate this conversation. I really do. There was one other little thing I made a note of down here. Fear. So I've been doing this exercise lately, and I blogged about it. It's just getting people to notice what they're scared about. And I want to get your perspective on this, because the word scared and the word sacred are the same spelling. They're just rearranged. And that when we can move through what we're scared about, this sacred stuff happens, right? Yeah. So it's incredible. And the experience of success, people are scared of success. They're scared of succeeding. They're hiding from success. And do you think that that's linked with the shame that they're going to have to handle being in the spotlight? Do you think that it's because of that they're afraid of success because of shame?
You know what? I would say yes, that I agree with that. And I actually did a podcast episode about this. Is it the fear of success or is it the fear of failure? It is a combination of the two, that stops people from moving forward. And when I say the fear of success, it's one of those things where if you're for instance, in a constant state of preparation, I want to launch this program, but first I have to get the website right. Okay, well, I've got the website right, but I don't have this automation. And when these people come, I want to make sure that, I have all of my emails in sequence, and none of this stuff matters, honestly, in order for you to be able to create a program and to change lives. But when you find yourself trying to cross every T and dot every I, you could say that you're afraid of failing, but honestly, you're afraid of succeeding, because what you're seeing is the potential to get all of these clients. And you're thinking you have to constantly stay in a state of preparation until you've perfected something so that the people can be properly addressed and greeted once they get there. But on the other side, for some people, it really is the fear of failure. They're like, okay, I'm thinking, and if all of these people come to me, if they pay me this much money, what if this doesn't happen? And what if that doesn't happen? So then you're afraid that you'll fail with serving the people that are coming to you. So for people, it could literally be one or the other or a combination of the two. But for some people, success really does scare the living daylights out of them, because it's like, if this does happen, the other point would be, what do I have to lose? You know, that reality of it, you know, everybody's saying that if I go here, I'm going to change, or I'm going to be different, or the circles that I'm going to be with they're different. It's lonely at the top, and all of these different types of things can go through your mind. And so if I'm successful, what do I have to lose? And instead of seeing what it is that I have to gain, because you are going to lose some friendships, your circles are going to change. You're going to lose some of your mindset, and it needs to go away. You know, I like how you use the scared and sacred. It's also like the silent and listen. It's the same letters, just, you know, in a different formation.
Wow,
but
never realized that one. Never realized that one. That's awesome. Yeah.
But until you're silent, you really can't listen. And so It's in those still moments, you know, that you get the revelations and stuff that you need. So it could literally be a combination of the two. And I've had to call people out on either one of them, and at different stages of what they're doing. So for those of you that are in a constant state of preparation, it could be because you're afraid of success. You are scared to death. Like, oh my God, what if I do get 12 people to sign up? If you're prepared and you're not pulling the trigger and you're questioning what's going to happen on the other side, you're afraid that you're going to fail those people, and you have not owned your genius yet.
That's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Auguste, you know that we could stay here and we could talk all day. You do know that, and that this could be like a 5-hour summit on its own, just you and I. So, however, I will attempt to wrap it up. I want to just compliment you and acknowledge you for your energy, your capacity, your authenticity, your generosity. You know, you just bring it. And it's not like switching a switch with you. It's like, this is who you are. This is how you are in real life. This is how you are on your podcast. This is how you are in your lives. This is how you are with me now. And it's this high level of energy and intensity and generosity. And, you know, you're a force of nature. And I just am so blessed to know you. I'm so blessed to have introduced you to the community. And I just encourage anybody that's comes across this video, if they're seeing it in our Facebook feeds or any of our social platforms, that you connect with Auguste. Let her know that you saw us chatting, and let her know what resonated with you. Let her know what she said that resonated with you, so that she can then pick it up from there and you guys can connect. Have you ever done a live summit? Have you been doing any live gatherings? Because I would love to put it out there at some point, that we're physically in the same environment, that we're physically in like the same physical space. We could bring all our people together and have some kind of experience, and, you know, the people that you know, your coaches, my coaches, and have like, I don't know, a personal development fest or business development. I don't know what it is, but at some point it would be my pleasure and privilege to figure out how we could create that. So I want to just sow that little seed and leave that there.
Yeah, you got my brain going. I don't know if you see my eyes in my head. I'm kind of like, oh wow, and I'm like already rearranging dates in my mind. That would be fabulous. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe it could be in Hawaii or something. You know. We'll figure it out. We'll keep talking about it, because there's a thing that I do called the Genius Accelerator. So I've got to take people on this 4-month process, unlock your business genius, get them to a level, then I bring them all together. And I'm working with about 9 at a time in that sequence. Very similar thing, but they're at different levels. So then I accelerate them to get them to another level. I've got one of my clients who's actually in San Francisco at the moment at a conference. So it's just, I just can feel the connectology happening, and we just want to put it out there publicly that could be a really awesome opportunity for everyone. And there are a lot of people in the US, you know, who want to do something in Australia. So, you know, we're happy to facilitate that. And that's part of this, is that you get to connect with my community. Yeah. Putting it out there,
yeah. I'm putting it out. That would be awesome to connect and to do it there.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get the ultimate experience. I would definitely want to talk to you about that. That would be me just doing what I do, just sitting there. Just in another region.
Yeah, okay, great. So that I just saw the seriousness in your eyes then. It's like, okay, she's really means this. So that will be an offline chat.
I literally do.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. So, August Crenshaw, thank you for joining me on the Positivity Show, and we look forward to people connecting with you on Facebook. Is there a particular link they can find package price and profit at yet, or is that?
Oh, yeah. They can go directly to it. They can go to www.packagepriceandprofit.com.
Okay. Great. Good. Or on Facebook. August Crenshaw, thank you for being a gift to the world, and I will be in touch with you offline. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye now. Goodbye, everyone. And when you see this, I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, when you watch this episode of The Positivity Show. Tanya Lacey signing off. Have a great day. Bye for now.